This is 2nd Street going east out of Belmont Shore and PCH. I was hit on October 24th on the westbound traffic on the other side. I'm standing right at about the spot I was hit at. The markers here are that little sign in the middle there. Almost directly in line with that, but in the middle lane. That middle lane there. The still picture of the accident scene on the day of the accident, my car was sitting right next to this telephone pole, which you'll notice then. That picture also shows 3 wooden telephone poles, which I'll sweep right now. And that concrete telephone pole that sits right on the other side of Studebaker Road as it comes on. I took a right-hand turn right there at Studebaker corner safely and merged into the 3rd lane. I accelerated up to around 30 to 40 miles an hour, and then I safely merged into the 2nd lane, the middle lane, which at around this point here is when I was hit by the car behind me in the middle lane right there. I have 2 witnesses in my car that know that we moved the car from the middle lane over to the curb to park it where you'll see all those emergency vehicles. And the guy who hit me followed me right behind. According to his testimony, he came into lane 3 later on in the report, the one which is the access lane there. Later in the report, he testifies to having been in lane 2 and moving into lane 3 and then hitting me in the lane 3. He didn't. He hit me in lane 2. I speculate he was in lane number 1. He also claims that he switched into the hit lane before that traffic light, which would have given him a lot of distance to see me ahead in the lane that he says he hit me in. The police officer initially wrote down lane 2, which is correct by him, and she never asked me which lane or where the accident happened. So she pictures the accident, and he consented with her that the accident happened 75 feet from the corner, which would put it right in line with that first green water pole right there on the curb. That's 75 feet from, believe it or not, that's, let me get a little longer view here. That little green pole on the right is 75 feet from the corner, from Studebaker Road, and he claims to have hit me there in the curb lane, which is not true. He hit me in lane number 2 like he said he was in initially. So he lied later on in the report. I saw him in my rear view mirror from the moment I merged into the middle lane. He was suddenly there. Before I merged into that lane, the lane was totally clear. I speculated later, before I read the police report, that he'd come out from behind a car in the high-speed lane number 1 before he got, and before he got to the light, which he attests to having changed lanes at the light. But he changed his testimony later from moving from 2 into 3, when in fact I believe he'd been in lane 1 moving into lane 2, where he hit me all the way from having changed down there to all the way down here, which is 360 feet just from the corner. But if you add up even more feet for about 40-50 feet of the width of the street down there, it's nearly 400 feet that he claims not to have seen me. And then he broke suddenly. When he got out of his car and I challenged him, he said he was distracted, and that's all I know, and that's what I tried to tell the police. And the lady officer, who I believe was a trainee, didn't write that comment, my 2 comments down, that I believed he was speeding because I saw the whole thing in my rear view mirror from the moment I saw him safely back at a distance till when he crashed finally. I was watching the whole thing, and then when we got out of the car, he said he was distracted. And that's why he hit me so lightly. He had been braking there at the last minute, but I believe he was speeding. So anyway, from way back there past that light, he said he merged, came all the way down here, because this is where it actually happened, more than 360 feet down the highway from Studebaker, where the report only claims it was 75 feet. She never directly asked me where the accident happened. She assumed it had happened right at the turning corner and put the citation for that in there. It's incorrect citation also.